Hey YouTube, Mrs. CP here. I just wanted to go over a few things as far as I've had some questions of, well, I decided I wanted to start preparing for like tornadoes and hurricanes and things like that, but I don't have the extra money to buy all these things. You know, people kind of have a bad taste in their mouth from certain shows on TV showing how certain people do things, and what works for them, but I don't have $500,000 to spend on a helicopter or on a bunker and all these fancy expensive items. But we prepare and we do it on a tight budget, whether it be saving up for that big ticket item that we need or just cutting back on certain things that we don't need. So I wanted to go over a few things as far as what you can do to start prepping and not have to spend a whole lot of money out of pocket. Now, when I shop, I usually have two lists. I have my grocery list and I have my prep list. I'm not necessarily going to buy everything that is on my prep list because I usually do it for the month so I can go through the sales and fill out what's going to go on sale for those items that I need for my prep list. But there are certain things that I always buy when I go to the grocery store, and it changes from month to month on what I'm going to be buying each month for my prep list. This month we are stocking up on our propane, so every time I go to the store I buy a canister of propane. Yeah, that's a little expensive, and you probably won't start off that way, but eventually once you build your stockpile up and you're not going to the grocery store as much because you have that stockpile to rely on, it'll get easier. So some of the small things that I wanted to go over. So you want to start prepping but you don't know where to start. Ask any prepper and they'll probably say the same thing right here. Soup, canned foods. They're generally still inexpensive, especially when you can catch them on sale. A lot of times there's a lot of coupons for them, and you can get them for buy one get one free or some sort of buy one get one 50% off type sale. So when you do, just buy them. Buy one or two cans, put them in your pantry or in a closet somewhere, and you'll be really surprised at how fast it'll actually add up. I can feed my family of 4 with this one can of soup and a cup of rice, and everybody's full and happy. Let's see, how many calories are in this? There's 140 calories in this per serving, and there's 2 servings per container. So it's still, everyone's happy, and they're actually pretty good. And then I don't go to Walmart a whole lot, but when I do, my Walmart always usually has a big huge bin out by the cash registers of medical supplies, and if they don't have it out, then I usually just sneak over to where the medical stuff is and they have them over there on the shelves. Like things like triple antibiotic ointment. These are 88 cents each. 88 cents. That's all they cost. You can buy one every time you go to the store, you can buy a few every time you go to the store, but they're good to have in your stockpile. And they're good to have on hand anyway, especially now that the summer months are coming up. There's going to be bee stings, there's going to be cuts and scrapes and bruises. So it's always good to have on hand anyway. The stuff I stockpile we use, I know we're going to use, so it's not like we're throwing our money away for stuff that we're just going to sit on a shelf somewhere in our house. No, we use everything that we stockpile. Another thing that they have is aspirin. 88 cents for 200 tablets of aspirin. I mean, you can't really go bad with that, and again, aspirin is something that we use in our household, and it's always good to have on hand. So those are just some small things that you can look into starting with, you know, the canned foods, the cheaper medical supplies, even just Band-Aids. You use Band-Aids. I mean, I use Band-Aids. If you have kids, you definitely use Band-Aids. So they also have those for like 88 cents at Walmart. So stock up on some Band-Aids, some antibiotic ointments, some canned food. You don't have to go out there and go, oh, well, I want to prep, so I've got to buy everything right this second. If you have the money to do that, good for you, because I don't. I've been prepping for quite a few years now, so we've built up everything that we have slowly. So that is one thing that you can do, is just start off small, buying some canned foods every now and then, whatever your budget will allow you to, and see where you can cut back in your budget. Do you eat out a lot? Do you have a Starbucks addiction? So some things that you can cut back and maybe squeeze into a prepper budget. Like every month we have our grocery budget and I have my prepping budget. They're two totally separate things. I may be buying the same thing for each list, but they are two totally separate lists and two totally separate budgets for us. But that is all I have for you today. So be sure to subscribe and follow us on Facebook, and happy prepping!